Hi, it's Alexis Hasselberger, time management and productivity coach. 2022 is literally right around the corner. Have you done any planning yet? If not, it is not too late. Sometimes planning scares us. Sometimes it just doesn't feel like it's time yet, right? We still got time to work this year. But setting ourselves up for success involves doing a little bit of pre-thinking about what's to come. I always do end of day planning where I'm making sure that I have a good plan for the next day. I'm doing end of week planning, making sure that I have a great plan for the following week. And end of year planning is another great time to do this planning because what you're doing is you're making sure that you are set up for success in the new year. Are your plans going to go perfectly? Nope. Is it good to think about it anyways so that you move forward with intentionality? Yes, it definitely is. And so I have a three-part planning process that I want to share with you because sometimes when we approach something like annual planning, it just seems like way overwhelming and it seems like something maybe we're just going to ignore. Maybe we're going to avoid it because it just seems like too much. So I want to share this process with you. And in the description below, you can also grab a planning template so that you don't have to remember all of this. I have a free planning template for you. You can go ahead and grab that. But I want to describe what these three different steps are. So the first step is really just brainstorming and defining your goals. Now, this might mean looking back at your goals from the previous year or the previous quarter. Is there anything that you didn't get to that you really wanted to, that you want to bring in for next year? Brainstorm some goals and just pick a couple of them for both your personal life and your professional life. When we spread ourselves too thin, then we don't really meet any of our goals. But when we really focus and we have just a few goals, it's much easier to go ahead and meet them. So decide on a few goals. You also really want to get clear about why these goals are important to you and what is the next step to make it happen, right? Just having the goal isn't enough. We also need to think about what are the steps, and even just starting with the very next step, the first thing you have to do to take action is going to be hugely helpful in not procrastinating on some of these things. Now, the next thing that you want to do is you do want to do a little retrospective on the year in advance or in the year behind. You want to do a little keep, start, stop exercise. So you want to think about the year that you just had and say, what do I want to keep doing? What is still working really well for me that I want to make sure to keep doing going forward? Then you also want to say, what do I want to stop doing? What is not serving me well anymore? Maybe it's a process, maybe it's something that's on your plate, maybe it's relationships, whatever it is, what is not serving you anymore that you want to remove? And then what do you want to start? That's maybe your goals, or maybe it's practices related to those things or habits. What are some things you want to start doing? And then finally, I always think, I didn't do this until a few years ago. And I admit that I thought it was a little woo-woo and strange the first time I heard it. But I think of a word of the year every year, something that I want to be kind of my North Star, the thing that is guiding me, and that can be meaningful in a lot of different contexts. And so thinking of a word of the year and really defining like, what do I want the next year to look like from a meta perspective can be really helpful in planning it out. So that doesn't sound too hard, right? It's not too difficult. You could maybe even spend just half an hour coming up with a rough plan for the year. Are you going to revise this plan and refine it as time goes on? Yes, of course you are. But just getting started and getting over that hump can be really helpful too. And now's the time to get it done, as the next year is just right around the corner. Now, if you have any great planning techniques or something that you always think about this time of year, let me know in the comments.
Hey, make sure to leave a like and subscribe and comment something down below. Thank you.